Hi everyone, it's Miriam Ortiz y Pino, More Than Organized here, certified professional organizer and simplicity expert. And I'm going to be sharing some cool tips today about how to set up a bill paying center for yourself so you have a place for all your bills and correspondence to go to. I want to give people just a minute to get on here from the Facebook Live notice and see if people are showing up. Of course, my phone seems to have a bigger delay than I'd like, so I don't know if it's working. There it is. We are good. Now I know where I can look for your comments. So if you have any comments or want to show some love, feel free to join me on that. You can just put some comments in the comment section, share with all your friends, tell them to join us over here. Um, these More Than Organized Mondays are going to be a chance to share some of my insider tips, how I like to organize my own stuff, and the typical things I set up for my clients so they get really great results. And you don't have to reorganize all the time. There's been so much talk lately about I get organized and then I have to get reorganized and then I have to get organized again. The trick is actually to set up a system that you can just use for a really long time and requires very little, if any, reorganization. And if it does, it's usually just when a change is happening. So if you start something new or you've let something go, that's when you want to reorganize. You don't think of it as messing it up and then reorganizing every time you use it. You should be able to just use it, and there should be a nice workflow that'll just work. So let's see. I just want to take a moment to let some more people come in. Is it working? Yay. All right. So let's just break this down. And all of the information on how to set this up is actually in the 1 Minute Mail Solution Kit, which is the free offer on my website. So you can go to morethanorganized.net/free simple tips. There's a couple different offers there, but the 1 Minute Mail Solution Kit is one of the resources. And it has a whole workbook and audio on how exactly you can set up a great bill paying and correspondence center so that you know where to put those pieces of paper that pile up around the house. Lots of the paper is involved with bill paying or correspondence, things you need to act on, review, and adjust and or file or act on and let go. So we want to have a place to actually hold the bills and correspondence, your bill paying center, all the things you need to keep track of your money. And so it's really nice to just say it's going to live here. That's all you have to do. It's going to be right here. For me and most of my clients, I recommend the upper left-hand corner of your desk because that's, in feng shui, that's a good place to put your money center. But also, it's handy. I can reach mine right here. I'm touching it. It's where I process the bills anyway. I'm sitting here. I can touch it. It's on the way in from the mailbox into the rest of the house for me. So it's a good place to collect that stuff and then act on it regularly. So you want to have a place to define a place for where your bills and correspondence will live, the actual physical papers and details of your money. And then you want to set aside time to actually work on it. So I pick Mondays. Monday is Money Day, MMM, Money, Monday, and marketing, which leads to money. So we are doing More Than Organized Mondays because of that. But one of the things that's very important is to set that time aside. Don't just say, I'll pay bills whenever I get a chance. You have to say, I'm going to work on it this day or once a month, twice a month, every week, whatever it is. You need to set aside a little bit of time. Sometimes in the beginning, especially if you're just now setting up a system, you want to schedule about 90 minutes until you have the system in place and you're used to using it. You have to practice a bit, and as you practice and get caught up on things that may be lingering, left over from not having a system, it will get faster. Now it only takes me about 10 minutes a week and about another half an hour twice a month to get all the bills paid and keep track of all the correspondence and get the filing done for maintaining my household and my business. So keep that in mind. The setup is the important part, and the setup involves a place to actually use it and the time to use it. So I want to just run through some of the key components that I keep in a bill paying system so that you can get some ideas. And again, more detail is involved in the 1 minute mail solution. Start with the free ones, you can move up, or you can just skip ahead, or you can just do the free ones. Whatever way works for you. I made it so it's all based on the same thing. So it's just different levels of explaining how it works and options for getting a little fancier with it. But the basic system I've been using for 30 years. So let's check it out. I'm going to do a little bit of adjusting here because I want you to be able to see it. So we're going to look at the desk a bit instead of me. But really, I have a basket. It's a stacking letter tray. I have 3 of them. The top one is my money basket. And it really just involves a place that I can drop the mail when it comes in. I don't actually have any mail. I meant to save some last week, and I'm so used to processing it, I went ahead and did it. But I left something out. So the components of the bill paying center are really a place to track your bills for when they get paid, when they come in, and how you use that. So here's just a letter with AT&T, and I need to compare something on my mobile plan. And so I can put it into the divider in the notebook. So let me just show you what the notebook is about. It's where all the details of my financial life are in place. So this top sheet here is just kind of the allocations of when money comes in. I divide it into my different accounts, my buckets. This is kind of lists of how much money I need every month, kind of my minimum requirements and things. I have a section that has some money affirmations in it, and it leads into what's called my money dashboard. It's just a way of looking at my financial picture once a week. I just kind of glance at it, see what money's coming in, what money's going out, making sure the money's in the right accounts, and the various aspects of my business money that I'm tracking. So I have a dashboard, like a cheat sheet of what I look at when I look at it online. I have a log for tracking all my social media stuff. That's just because that's how I make my money, so that's there. I have one divider. So I use these slashed pockets as dividers, which make it really great because you can tuck all the various sizes of paper. This one happens to be payment details. So it's little things like the contact info and little brochures from like State Farm and my credit cards about how to log in or how to go paperless. And when I did that, and I have an envelope for my deposits. So when I deposit a check through my phone or at the bank, I put the deposit slips and the checks back in here till the end of the year. I have a little list where I track any debts I'm paying off. So I do it in pencil. So it's crazy, I know, but I just write down my debt and I erase it every month and write the new number in so I can see it coming down. It gives me a visual of how that's going. I have another slash pocket in here just for my state tax situation for the sales tax tracking and payments. So I have all that in here for the year. And then I have my actual bills to pay divider. So I can put it in here in the envelope. But imagine if I had several envelopes in here or a handful of envelopes, it would kind of stack up after a while. So one of the biggest tricks I have for people to keep track of their clutter or keep the clutter down when you're doing stuff with your mail and bills is to actually remove the envelope. It's just 2 pieces of paper and flatten whatever the bill is as it comes in and put it into the payment envelope until I'm ready to make the payment. Now, if there were any brochures or flyers in there, I would toss them away too. There's no need to open an envelope and then refold the stuff and put it back in and then unfold it again when you pay it and refold it afterwards for filing and jotting notes down. That's kind of very old school and it takes up a lot of room. You know, a stack of envelopes is going to get fatter than a stack of flat papers faster. So keep it flat, and then you can immediately file it. So this section I have a list of all my regular bills that come due every month, and if they're paid automatically or if I have to pay them, I have in my budget sheets. Yeah, you're amazed, right? I do a lot of this by hand. It's also in my QuickBooks Online, but this is what I can grab quickly and just glance and see where I'm at every month. On the left side, I have a spot to record all my incoming money from my business. So every time a client pays me, I track their payment here. And on the right-hand side, I have all those regular bills and when they get paid, and I just check them off when I check my balance a few times a month to make sure everything got taken care of. So it's all really easy. The regular ones are printed out, and then I have plenty of lines for incidentals. Allows me to do a little bit of planning. And then I have a divider for any of the stuff you have to take care of. The calls you have to make, the insurance things you have to track, things you might want to sign up for in the future but you haven't yet. I call it my to deal with section. And I have a couple sheets and sheet protectors that just give me the steps of how I deal with the end of the month accounting and some cheat sheets for when I do use my QuickBooks. And I keep track of my business expenses since the beginning. I have the stack of how I did every single month or every single year since I opened my business, so I can see my growth and progress right there. And then one of the things that's available, it's part of the 1 Minute Mail Solution Kit. So if you sign up for that, you'll get it too. But it's an account list worksheet. It just has the place where all the different accounts you're signed up for. There's a place to list them with your account number, their phone number, their website, and the login details if you need it handy. It's kind of nice to have that in your money book because in case of an emergency, let's say there's a hurricane or a flood or a fire and you have to grab something real quick, if all you grabbed was your notebook or the entire money basket, you'd have access to all your various accounts in there. So that's something to think about too. You can mirror this information on your computer. If that's what you want to do, you can set this up in Evernote or an Excel spreadsheet or anything like that. And most of it is what's in QuickBooks. If you use QuickBooks or FreshBooks or 17 Hats or something, most of that information will be there for your business stuff, but don't forget you also have personal stuff. So if you're a solopreneur, like many of the people that follow me are, you might want to just consider how you're going to marry the two, and is there a system that'll work for both at the same time, and where you want those separations to be. So think about that. I just want to quickly go over a couple other things that are in the basket, but let me just check if anyone else has come on here and commented. Yeah, oh, I meant to turn this down. All right, we'll just click out. Okay, I don't see any comments yet, so I will check that one more time before we wrap up to see. But thanks for joining, everybody, as you're coming on. So some of the things I have in here, too, are kind of the resources I use. But before I get to the resources, let's just talk about receipts, right? You carry your receipts in the wallet. They come home with you. What do you do with them? At the end of the day, I take them out of my wallet. These came out of my wallet. I put them in the various piles of which account they came out of. That's just a coupon. And then I can see these two are that account and these are this account. So then these are my checkbooks. So I just put the incoming receipts, oops, these are this one, in there until I go to QuickBooks next time to kind of check them off or do the reconciliation. So they just get folded into, how do I make this seem? Okay, so it's just my checkbook. They're just in there until I check them off, and then they get filed where they need to be or trashed at that point. These two are client, or these three are actually client receipts, so they kind of stay loose till I do my invoicing. And then I have an envelope for my various expenses that may not be attached to my QuickBooks. So one is my personal credit card, one is family credit card, and one is my cash ones that don't run through my business QuickBooks, but occasionally I have to use that card for an expense or something, and it needs to get added. So it's in the envelope till I put it into QuickBooks, and then it gets filed in the right spot. So I do most of my accounting based on Mike McCallowick's Profit First. Great book if you want to check that out. And I have a little set of exercises and things about money mindset that I got during my work with Kendall Summerhawk from her Money Mastery courses that are very handy to have the mindset about money in place, as well as the practical stuff like from Mike. And then I have a folder with my IRS stuff. I'm on a payment plan to pay off. Sometimes when you're a solopreneur, your taxes go up faster than you anticipate because you're doing well, which is great. Great problem to have, but I have to have a folder for it. And I always have a copy of my business plan in the bottom so that I can see where I've come from. This was my business plan when I first started my business in the year 2000. I've since updated it a couple of times, but I like to see where I started so that I can remember where I'm going. And once a year I review that and make sure I'm still on track for what my original intention was and make any adjustments as intentions change. So all of that has to do with money. And it's all right here. And really, for the most part, the only thing that gets used every single week is the book and the checkbooks to put the receipts. And then twice a month, I actually do the payment and the working through and going online and checking things off and taking names. So, what do you think? Easy enough system? One basket or box or bin or drawer, whatever you want to use, and just about 20 minutes a week and an hour a couple times a month, and you are good to go. You'll have full tracking of all your money and what that looks like. Let me just see if I can scoot this around and check the comments one last time before I sign off. Hopefully someone had a comment or question. See who all joined me on this endeavor. Is it logging in? What are we doing? When I have the recording going, it slows everything else down. So when I go to look at the replay, where are we at? Technology, so fun. Huh. I'm not seeing any comments at this point. So we'll check back and address any of them. Don't forget, morethanorganized.net/free simple tips, and you can get on the 1 Minute Mail Solution Kit list and get all these details in an audio workbook and that account list worksheet, which helps a lot too when you need to delegate the stuff or if an emergency comes up. Thanks for joining. See you again next Monday. Same time, same bat channel. Bye.